long and tall with that slender groove. I love your smell and the way you move. Can I help it if I want you tonight?
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill that happens to be the coffee company. Yeah, good drawing the things. We're going to have some guests. Maybe Mr. Resnold might turn up. He's on a quest to get some Levi's, and hopefully he will swing around here very, very soon. But firstly, we do have a guest in the background. So before we go to the chat, we're going to welcome Mr. Aki himself, Mr. Brian. How are you this afternoon?
I'm okay, mate.
We spent a lot of time this morning so far, but
we have. I'm exhausted. I've been waking up at like half every morning, and I thought, you know what? We just get rid of that. I'm back. So I just took a phone call that I can't take. So yeah, I'm not sleeping very well. So I've been up since 3:30. So I'm just chilling in bed and thought I'd come and say hello to everyone.
Great stuff. We have sent the link out. I do need to send the link to Eugene quickly because he asked if we're having guests on, if I could send the link. So let's do that quickly. So maybe Eugene will join us, and maybe some other chaps from the community of the coffee beans will turn up. But yeah, Milan, Brian, what's your thinking on it?
Listen, it's the Iggy Derby, isn't it? Let's get that straight.
Derby.
Let's face it. As soon as that draw was made, there was one person's name on everyone's thoughts, brains, lips, whatever you want to say. You get into the quarterfinal, the last 16 of anything, you're going to be any tie is going to be a hard one. We're just very lucky that we topped the group. We got the second leg at home. That's the most important thing.
I'm just now. I'm hoping because my dad has actually booked the flights for the game for the day before the 14th. So we're going the 13th and coming back on the Thursday.
Okay.
Hopefully it's that day that week. Otherwise we're gonna have to change the flights and all that nonsense. Yep. Luckily BA are very good with that one. So hopefully they've done us a solid because the flights will go through the roof this evening as always. So hopefully,
yep.
Fingers crossed. But before we talk more about Milan, let's welcome to see who's in the chat. Big up, Eugene. Hashtag Levy out. Hi, everyone. Big up, Levy out. Big up. Hopefully you're well. Mr. Carl Simpson. Five Guys. Big up, Five Guys. Hopefully you're well. Mr. Paul G. Big up, Paul. Hopefully you're doing well as well. And Mr. Chris Agenbar. Big up, Chris. Hopefully you're doing well. But yeah. Milan is one of my favourite cities in the world. Everyone knows how much I absolutely adore that. That's like just like your home away from the UK.
Yep.
It is your home now because you live there.
Yep.
Milan is my home from home. I go there a hell of a lot. I was going there at 1.7 times a year. I love that city. That was everything you see here is because of the city of Milan. I learned everything from the start from that city. So anytime I can go to Milan is always a massive pleasure of mine, and hopefully we can come away with a victory the next one.
Hopefully. I mean, Milan, my mum's cousin she married an Italian ballet dancer, like a very famous, or not very famous, but fairly famous one.
Yeah.
Back in the day, she done this back in England, but spent a lot of her life growing her kids up in Milan, and she speaks very, very fondly of the city. I've never actually been to Italy. Ever, but I always wanted to.
Place to be. It's a wonderful place to be. I mean, Iggy as well will probably be able. Actually, me and Iggy are probably on that same level in terms of how much. I probably even like Milan more. I don't know. Probably visited Milan more than he has. I probably visited Milan more than a lot more people, except for people that actually live there. But it's an incredible city, brilliant network, brilliant food, wonderful people that live there. And it's one of the greatest football cities in the world, in my opinion. It's probably the greatest football city. They've got two gargantuan football teams, Inter and Milan, of course. But it's a wonderful
but I'll tell you what, they've had a lot of players that have played for both teams, haven't they?
Yes. And it happens with most Italian clubs. Like Ronaldo played for Inter, AC, and Juventus. No, Pirlo played for all three of them.
Yep.
Ronaldo
Ronaldo played for both Milans, didn't he?
Big
As
up,
in the
Mark.
original.
Big up. Yeah, loads
The
of
original
players
R9.
between the two. Seedorf played for both Inter and AC Milan. Like
Ibrahimovic.
I mean, there's no greater city except for maybe London, of course, to play football in. I think the fans are so passionate. It's just a brilliant place to be. It's just everyone loves it.
When are they moving into? Have they started developing their new stadium?
So it's very, very. It's going through the planning process, and as most people know, Italy and planning is very slow, and it's this because there is. We're going to bring in Eugene first, so big up Eugene, mate. Hope you're doing well.
Nice.
There is still pushback from the government because the reason why Italian football is so poor is because not many of the teams own their own stadium. AC and Inter don't own their stadium. Napoli don't own their stadium. Atalanta don't. None of the teams except for one own their
Juventus,
stadium, which is Juventus. So the city of Milan are desperate to keep Milan and Inter in San Siro. But the teams realise the only way for them to be sustainable football clubs and survive properly is to own their own stadium and get all the ticket fees as well as the shirt sales. So it's really difficult for them. But
when you say that, do the two Milans still want to keep at the same stadium, or they want to build two separate?
They want to buy the stadium together. But it's been that way for was it 100? You might as well. It works, but they just want to own the gate. They just want to own the stadium.
Own the land itself and all that, right?
Yeah, but that's what amazes me with Italy. They do it with obviously Lazio and Roma and so other, but you can't imagine Spurs and Arsenal getting together and going, "Hey, you know what? Let's build a stadium together," and it just wouldn't happen.
Which is crazy, really, because Italy is a bigger country than ours is. So you think they've got. Actually, it's about the same. They've got less population, but it's about the same size of country. But you would think they
maybe it's just land ownership laws and all that. Right?
Maybe land is very difficult to buy in Milan specifically. I've been one of the things I argued with many people that had no idea about anything during transfer windows. Oh, Martinez is definitely coming to Tottenham. Martinez has just opened a really fancy restaurant in the most expensive area of Milan, which is called Brera. It's a beautiful part of Milan. Once you buy a property in Milan, you do not leave, because if you leave, you have to sell that property. You're not allowed to own it. Only people that live there can own certain properties. They don't like in Italy outsider ownership of things, which is like one of the reasons why AC and Inter get so much pushback of them having outside own. They don't like it. They want the clubs to be owned by Italians. It's just the way that I like it personally. I want Tottenham to be owned by an English person if they've got the money. It's the same thing with them. They're very much Italians come first in Italy, and I sort of like that. But what's your feeling on the tie, Eugene?
Against AC Milan, I guess at the moment now, we already did the show earlier, right? On Tottenham tour, right, with Viaggo and your good self. At the moment, I won't put any predictions or any kind of expectations, because we still have to get past through the World Cup first, right? You remember, whenever we have a World Cup break, an international break, it usually breaks us. So, and if it breaks us, and if the owners are smart and they back Conte, they maybe will give him a couple of good players to carry us on. But as you know, if it can break us, it will break other teams too. So then let's see what will happen in the transfer market. I think this transfer market will, because of the World Cup, there will be some gems that will be unveiled, right, during the World Cup, right, wherever they will come from, all over the world. It could be from Asia, right, South America, right, Africa, right, or even maybe locally in Europe, that we'll find some gems, right. And And if the teams have a lot of injuries and all that, then all these players will become top priority to be signed, right? That's how I see it. But at the moment, I'll just play it cool because more or less after the next two games, I guess we'll all be focusing on the World Cup.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
usually what you got to remember as well is I was thinking about this just a minute ago. When you think about when we say players goes to the World Cup, make it or break it, thankfully our two of our big players, Kulusevski and Basuma, are going for obvious reasons. Their country ain't there.
now,
But
possibly.
yeah, and sorry, but then you look at it. Liverpool, Mohamed Salah ain't going, so he's going to get a nice rest. Manchester City, Haaland ain't going.
Yeah.
He's going to. So obviously Kulusevski. I mean, we saw how important he is, but it's good to know that there are big players having a rest. But you've got to remember, there's other big players
Yeah,
for other
going.
clubs that are also going to have the rest. Obviously, they're going to do the training, whatever,
Mm.
within the team, and they'll probably go get some warm weather training or whatever they want to do. But yeah, it's a very, very important time we're going into.
Yeah. But my worry is that maybe this break, when it comes along, right? Whether the players, they're so used to the English. I mean, we fans are so used to the English game, right? Where end of year comes, everything is so congested, right? Everything is coming thick and fast. And if these players all of a sudden have this break and they're not going to continue to play, what's going to happen to their form, their fitness? How is Conte going to manage their, the dietary? Is Conte going to say, okay, let you guys have 2 weeks off, go spend time with your family, go for a holiday, right? Go and do whatever you want, or are you still going to go into that training regime that Conte is just going to drill you? Yeah.
I have to say, when you said dietary, I actually thought you said dire and tree.
Yeah.
Not dietary food.
Yeah, diet is a tree.
Yeah, basically, that's what I thought you were saying.
Yeah, no, but dietary. No, because you see, when long holidays come along, right? When professional players usually they will have like we saw with Sonny, right? When he went back to Korea, we knew he put on some pounds, right? When he was playing in the friendlies and all that. Yeah, we could see he's actually put some weight here and some weight here, but we're all human, right? It comes down in the end of the day, right? We're all human, right? We need to enjoy certain things in life at certain times, right? Even as a professional footballer, right? You need to have that break time that at least you can go out and enjoy a burger, a steak, right? Some things that you are not allowed to eat when you're actually going through your professional career during the season, right? Apart from Ndombele, maybe he doesn't follow that rule, right? Right. But as you see it, it's nearly a month break. That's how I see it. Maybe along the way, the countries that we have players in that in their day they don't get past the group stages, they will come back early. Then maybe Conte will start planning his fitness regime again, bring them back up again, because a lot of us have been saying, why do we play so badly in the first half, the first 60 minutes, right? Maybe Conte, his fitness regime, right? Our squad can't take it. You see, they're not. They'll take them time. Oh yeah. You need a burger, steak too, Bobby. Big up, Bobby. Big up, Bobby. Right? It's like saying that they when Conte came in November, he didn't have a preseason with them. He didn't have a full training regime with them because he just took the players in and then he had to deal with it, right? And then when the summer came along, that's when he started, the regime and the fitness. We saw it during the friendlies, right? After the game, the players still had to run. No, was it before the game? The players had to run how many lengths of the pitch, or after the game?
42.
Yeah, how many lengths of the pitch, right? So all these things is like what I say. Why do we look stronger at the end of the games? It's maybe because we're reserving ourselves, right? Maybe in the last 30 minutes, Conte unleashed them and said, go all out, right? But if Conte says go all out in the beginning, imagine if we reach our 60th minute and the last 30 minute, right, we all just fade away, right? We'll get battered.
Yeah.
You see? Instead of being battered in the first half, we'll get battered in the end of the game. And that's what's, the Spursy that comes along, right? That's what always happens to us. So maybe Conte is trying to reverse that and try to make us look, mentally stronger at the end of the games. Because, like, if I'm not mistaken now, we are the only team in the Premier League, right, that has the highest return. I mean, we come back,
More
right?
than any other team, yeah.
More than any other team, either to draw or to win. So
It's-
that's maybe that's the mental part. Maybe that's what Conte is trying to build in these people to tell them, all right, we must have that fight at the end. We must have that fight at the end. If we have that fight in the beginning and we can't fight in the end, what's going to happen? That's going to bring the psychological part down. So maybe that's what Conte is trying to build now. And hopefully, when the January transfer window comes along, we strengthen with a couple or we need 4 or 5 or 6 more players to come in. Then, right, maybe the squad can go all out for 90 minutes. At the moment, we look at our squad, we turn around. Who do we have? And especially now we got injuries. Richarlison, Sonny, right? Romero. As I see it. Yeah, we come back. Yeah,
What are we going to do about that then? Because we don't have a fitness coach anymore. Part of the reason we are so good is Mr. Gian Piero Venturone, rest in peace. Are we going to hire a new fitness coach? Because we're going to desperately need one of those.
Do you know what, Ben? I think it's more important we hire a new medical team and deal with that
as well.
Right, I think I think that's more important than getting a fitness coach in right now, because when these players do get injured, they're picking up injuries coming back.
Yeah,
I think they're doing more. Honestly, I honestly think they're doing more harm than good. And once you've got that, and you've got them on a good recovery plan, you've got that sorted, then you can start looking at. Right now, it's more important that we get our injured players back than opposed to keeping. You know, I mean, we know in Pochettino, those players are fit. They are fit now, and you got to remember the training they do every day is on fitness. They are getting fit every single day. Obviously, they're not being put through their paces as much as they would have been doing with Vitroni.
Yeah.
But we need our injured players back. Can you imagine if we'd had a fully fit Kulusevski all this time? If we'd had a Richarlison, if we'd had Romero, you're then talking the football may still have been the same, but I would probably say there's a very good chance of the result being different. Big up on me, brother.
Big up on me. Yeah, but Brian, but the problem is that like our depth of our squad, that's the problem at the moment now, right? The quality of it that we can't, even if you have the fitness, if you don't have the quality, right? Or the intelligence, right? To play the football that Conte wants, right? That's gonna be really, really, sad, right? Really, really sad for us. So what else can we say? What else can we say? The only thing to say is that we just gotta wait and see, right? Of course, the Nottingham Forest game is coming up. A lot of us were talking about, are we going to go all out, or are we going to pull back a bit? Play the reserve team, play Jet Spence, put in Foster, right, and give the other fringe players a chance, right? But with the squad that we have now, which is like our first 11 is like what we call 40% decimated, right? Maybe Kulu will have to come in the second half, or he plays half of a game or something like that. So we see how it goes from there, right? And of course, don't forget, we all want to win at home against Leeds, right? Of course, we want to have the morale booster, right? Okay, I'm on seafood diet, munching on fish. Yeah,
of course, yes.
Yeah.
The medical team is definitely a problem. This has not been a problem since Conte came along. Our medical team has been shocking since forever. How many injuries have we got? This medical team, they are awful. They really are. How many big players have we?
Ben, remember Lamela?
Yeah, Lamela.
No. It goes back further than that. It goes. You look at Darren Anderson.
Yeah.
With Darren Anderson, you can very easily say, listen, big up Scott. It wasn't as demanding as the football is now, or there wasn't the science and the technology, whatever, and also the pitches. Even the training grounds that Tottenham used to play on when Darren Anderson was there, excuse me, it's nothing compared to what they have at Hotspur Way. But yeah, this medical team, we constantly get it. We constantly have. I mean, don't get me wrong. Let's get this right. It happens with other clubs too. But what I don't see happening with other clubs is when their players are coming back from fitness or injury, that during their rehab they break down again, or something happens because they pushed them too far. And if it does, it's very seldom. Where with us, it seems to be a reoccurring theme.
Yeah.
the thing is that I think when Conte first came in, right? I think last year, he already said that we do have fundamental problems, right? In the scouting, in our medical team, and all that. But somehow or another, I'm not sure why it hasn't been addressed. I mean, I was more or less saying, I'm more or less thinking, right? If these are the basic things that Conte needs, right? Because like what happened with Lukaku in Inter when Conte found out that he keeps getting this injury because more or less because of his diet, then they solved that problem, right? To turn Lukaku into a different kind of player for Inter, right? But not for Chelsea, right? And I'm not sure how Lukaku is doing this season
again because they know what issue he's facing. They fix the issue again.
Yeah. So the problem is that why aren't we fixing issues for our players, right? Maybe yes, probably yes.
Bob. I hope Bob. Firstly, thoughts go out to Miss Kimber who lost her aunt recently, and she's going to the funeral.
Yeah, condolences.
But I really hope Bob is not doing this at a particular thing. But all our thoughts go to Kimber from the coffee company and everyone in the community. So if you ever see Kim, please send her our thoughts, and hopefully she's doing all right because no one likes to lose a family member. But
that's true.
Bob, I hope you're not doing this in a particular event. Sorry, Bob would do, but big up Bob. Hopefully he's doing well.
No, let's say medical team or scouting problems. Conte has been saying that how can we buy players for 60 million pounds and we're loaning them out and not using them. So there are fundamental problems in our club which needs to be solved. So let's see what's happening. Right? That's it. Okay, Bobby.
Of course she is.
Without a doubt.
But some fundamental changes need to happen at our football. No other football club gets the amount of long-term injuries that we get, and we get them consistently, losing big players at very important times. It's about time that the medical team they need to be given their marching orders. But it's that bringing a team of Italians because. A lot of the way things work in Italy, for example, is when Conte is asked about injury, he brings forward like the medical guy because they have a guy that's like in charge of the medical team. This is the medical manager. He talks about the injuries, not me. I'm the coach. I'm in charge of coaching the team, and that's it. We need to have someone who is world class in their respective field of medical to be managing these problems. Because they're not a Wallies. They are Wallies. They're not doing their job properly.
No, listen, you can look at it in the documentary with Jose Mourinho as well. When there were injuries, when there were the Kane and Son. Obviously, that hamstring tear, but they were there for a long time. And then there was other players where they were talking. He's like, I need them fit. And it's a problem, but like we said, what we have to remember is it's not just us, but like we're saying, the recurring and them coming back too soon is us. Us.
Well, it's because we don't have backups. We don't have backups because the squad is so thin. I mean, I know. I think Conte prefers a smaller squad. But because his methods are so intense that maybe that having a bigger squad, he can't distribute the amount of intensity to every player. But we need to have at least 2 players in every position that can come into the team and do well. But we don't. We're like centre back. We've had Dyer on his own for bloody years. It's unacceptable. Luckily, this year, we've got 1 million defensive midfielders, but we don't have a single attacking midfielder because we haven't brought an attacking midfielder in years. But the squad management has been shocking from top to bottom. And the quicker we solve these issues, that's probably the reason why our issues, because one player is having to play for injury, which means they get even more injured, which it doubles the length of recovery. So the squad's not thick enough. Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Correct.
Doctor for Cannibal Run, apparently.
What a great movie! What 2 great movies they are.
Yeah.
Cannibal Run.
Classics.
Yeah.
Absolute classic movie. But it's Listen, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is what it is. We can all be saying this, and some of us can be saying it for a lot longer than other people or people that yet. It just this is it. This is it. But hopefully, after the World Cup and after January, we do have a good. I pray to God we do. And then we might be talking something completely different.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We're
But-
we're on the cusp of greatness, as they would say. If we have a good window, we can challenge this year. Anyone in the top four can challenge for the league title this year. There's twists and turns going to the end of the season.
Yeah,
We
but
have a good window. We will not finish in the top four because there are teams that are going to usurp us. We need to have a good window now. There's no time for patience now. We've got to go for it. We don't have the room to be patient because we've got so many good teams breathing down our necks already. And there's got the Newcastle who are now brilliant. You've got Chelsea who will eventually find form at some point in the season. You've got Liverpool who could make a resurgence, especially if they get new owners in the next month. If they get bought in the next month, we've got problems. We have got problems with the news that Liverpool are up for sale.
Yep. But remember, no billion. When we get off, well, first of all, Superman is right. He's not him and Cooper aren't the only ones that got grief for saying the transfer window was what it was. But just like Chelsea, but many people have been on streams when I've been with Bob. I said, so who comes in for the club? Who buys Tottenham? Who's out there? And me and Bob have been like, listen, it's not my job to find billionaires. I don't have a Rolodex where I've just got them all on list and I pitch to them. But it's amazing how quite a few of them wanted Chelsea.
Yeah.
And if Liverpool come, it'll be quite obvious how many Liverpool want. And Phil, I'm not going to the Leeds game. I'm doing the watch along for We Are Tottenham TV, but I will be going to the stadium after the World Cup.
All right.
Mr.
What is
Eugene,
problem here?
Bob is asking you this question: are you watching the World Cup?
I will of course watch the World Cup. Right, it's the World Cup. I used to watch every match of the World Cup last time, no matter what time is it. But as time goes now, most probably the World Cup we play at times that I'll be working because it starts. I think the early game is from 6 p.m., 9 p.m., 12 p.m., and 3 a.m. So 4 games a day I'll watch.
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Yeah, just the 4 games.
2 hours ahead, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 8 hours ahead of you guys. Right, and ITW, what? My opinion on the World Cup?
In the wall.
Oh, is it in the wall? Too late for me. Yeah, of course I'll be watching, right? But my opinion on the World Cup, regarding what is happening and what's happened, and blah blah blah, and all that. But it's still the World Cup, right? The only thing I'm a bit upset is just its timing, right? Just because Qatar got it, the weather wasn't ideal for it, and they moved it into the mid-season, which is causing so much headache in all things in the World Cup, apart from the other issues, which I don't want to say here, right? Because every country has got their issues. If you want to talk about issues, Russia should have gotten the World Cup, to tell the truth. Look what they're doing now. Right, so
non-political, but it's
that's why.
For me, the most upsetting thing, not just because of it's because I think the best time of the year for English football is during the Christmas. I love Christmas.
That is the only thing. Yeah, that's the thing that upsets me. Right, the World Cup should be played in the summer.
Yeah,
that's all.
Just like it always was, and always should be. Hopefully, the powers that be have learned from this one how many people are upset over it, and they've seen the amount of injuries everyone's getting. So this should never happen again. This should never happen again.
Well, you know what it is as well. What it is for me as well is I'm going to be in London, obviously, but for me, I'm going to miss Canada, being in the World Cup and living in Canada, which is going to be such a unique experience for so many people because of the last time they've been there was 1982. It's going to be such a unique thing here. Yes, the issues of where it is, but this country is obviously embracing the fact that their country is in a World Cup. But the only good thing is, like I said, the next World Cup I get to experience it being in the host station, one of the host stations. So Canada are going to get to go to 2 World Cups. So I'm not that kind of cut up, but it's just been it's going to be so weird. I've got so used to watching England in Canada, and now I'm going to have to watch Canada in England.
But don't worry, Brian. You'll find some Canadians to follow
I'll
celebrate.
I'll find a Canadian bar or do something, but I will be keeping it very, very. I won't miss the Canada game, that's for sure.
I'm saying Canada are my second team in this World Cup because there's no Italy in it. But as long as England try to do well, England are not winning this World. As much as I want England to win, they're not winning the World Cup. Not with this football manager in charge. Not without Reece James and Ben Chilwell. We're not winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
Anyone that thinks we do is more deluded than me, and I'm quite deluded. We're not winning this World Cup.
Ben, you know, England will come out and start playing in the 60th minute.
Yeah. But they won't because I haven't got any Tottenham players. So
just Harry Kane.
Yeah, just Harry Kane. Harry Kane's going to turn up in the second half only. So
yeah, but do you know what it is? What you say that as well? You look at like the World Cups in Russia and previous England tournaments, especially under Poch. The England team was lathered with Spurs players. Just it was. You had obviously Trippier, Rose. You had
Ali.
Yep.
Dyer was there too, even again.
You had Dele Alli, you had Kane, you had there were so many of them. And now it's like it's Harry Kane.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's better that way.
I mean,
I love having.
If we buy Maddison, we'll get another player in the team because that's the reason. For some reason, James Maddison doesn't get in the bloody team, despite the fact he's our best number 10 in the country. The only good English number 10.
Ben, don't be surprised, right? Ryan Sessegnon gets a call up.
Oh God! I will not support England if Ryan Sessegnon. I will support Canada. I'm fed up with his crossing. I'm fed
Ryan
up.
Sessegnon, Eric Dyer, right? Maybe Southgate will just get desperate.
I've been arguing with my uncle about this for about 4 weeks now. I keep on saying because for me, the reason we're so crap is we can't build out the back because we're Lloris and Dyer. This is and Sessegnon because he's such a crap wing back. It's we haven't got a final ball. Whose fucking job is that? Ryan Sessegnon, who is shit. Like, frankly, shit. I'm not on this crowd now, and I know people like Mr. Graham really love not really, but they rate him. I don't want this player in the team anymore. I'm fed up with watching him. As soon as he's on the pitch, I know we're not being out across the ball unless we get a free kick or a corner.
I do rate it. I do rate Sessegnon, but you cannot defend the last two performances. The one at right wing back and yesterday. Every time he has one good game, he seems to have like 3 bad games.
Yeah.
And then he has one, and he just needs to turn that around. Do I think he has the potential to do it? I really do. But is he starting to test my patience with that belief? Yes, he is.
But Ryan, I think it's just the problem of our whole squad, right? They're not consistent. There's no consistency in how our players
perform. They're consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, they're just inconsistent. I would rather if they just were consistently shite, right? And then we accept it, right? And then it doesn't bring you in that roller coaster ride that, you win, you lose, and then you have a couple of good games, you go a bit higher. Then when you drop, really fast down, But that's what Spurs is, right? I've been supporting Spurs for so many years, right? I'm quite used to it, right? But at the moment now, at least if we know we have some consistency, like now we know that in all our games we really see a trend, right? We don't turn up for the first 60 minutes. We sit back, we defend, then we turn up in the last half an hour. That's when we go through the gears, right? And then we start, throwing the kitchen sink at people after going 2 goals down and all that shit, right? But I don't know. Maybe we will get some changes in January, and all that will change, right? And all that will change for the better, right? Generational thing. Can't wait for the World Cup. Yeah. Bobby, 86, 90, football, big up Bobby, 86. What happened in 86? Was it the hand of God? 86?
Yeah, the hand of God.
Yeah, 86 was the hand of God. Yeah, Italian 90. Were we there? Oh yeah, was Gaza in 90, right?
Yeah, Gaza was the 90 World Cup. Yeah. Listen, I'm having to go because I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm falling asleep. But listen, guys, have a great show. I don't know if I'll be on anything tomorrow because I'll be spending the morning with Alana and afternoon before she goes to the airport. and then I'll be going to the airport a few hours after her. So if I
Have
don't
a
see
good trip,
anyone,
man.
cheers, brother. If I don't see you, and Ben, I'll give you a call as soon as I land. If I don't speak to anyone tomorrow, but everyone in the chat, have a good one. And as always, Levy out.
Yeah, okay, bro.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Thank you
Yeah,
to Ryan for appearing on the show.
he's been awake since
3 a.m.
3 a.m. Canadian time.
Yeah.
8
That's
hours
quite
ago.
a long time, but
10 hours ago, yeah.
well, we lost on penalties. Falling asleep,
Yeah.
that's my job. Family Ryan will
Yeah,
you can still fall asleep on the show. You've got the link for the chat, sir. So if you're available, give us a shout. Chris, big up.
Yeah,
But
Chris Agamba joined us for the watch along yesterday. Yeah.
big up, Chris.
he joined us
Always
for
great
that,
to hear his
yeah.
opinion on things.
Yeah. But coming back, sorry, go ahead.
You were in for.
No, I said coming back to the World Cup and all that, right? I was just wondering if you take out all the teams, I think Manchester City will have the most players going to the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken, right? So yeah, that's when you get quality. You lose most of your squad doing that, right? And for us at the moment, I don't think we have that many players. I think it's just Kane. Oh, actually quite a lot. We have 4 or 5, right? Lloris.
Kane, Son, I think will still go. Even I think
Injured or not injured, Son will surely be there. Whether he plays or not is another question. He will sure be. I think his name will surely be on the name list.
I think he will be in the squad anyway, just to be there. For the team.
Just to be there. Yeah, he has to be there to boost the morale and all that.
Yeah.
So we have Son, Kane, Lloris, right? Romero, Benson
Dyer,
maybe Dyer, maybe Sessegnon.
No, Sessegnon might go. He's shit.
Maybe.
No, he's not that stupid, Southgate. Big up Hollywood, Phil.
Big up Phil. Perisic. Perisic will be there. Right. Davis. We forget Davis. Richarlison. Oh God, I already got 10 on my. Oh yeah.
No, a lot of the Spurs players are going shit. We're
dear, we are losing our first team, basically.
Yeah, basically, because that's the only good players. But luckily, we've got Bissouma that's not going. It's just
Decky won't be going. Yeah, Bissouma, Decky won't be going. Yeah, but I don't know. With performances Dyer's been putting out nowadays, right? I don't think he'll make it.
Oh no, Southgate, he picks his favourites, and if he's picked Dyer,
Dyer's not his favourite. No, Dyer's not his favourite.
So for me, there isn't any more international friendlies. For me, the last set of players that he got for the qualifiers and the friendlies, I think they're going. The ones that are not fit, Højbjerg as well. Højbjerg.
Yeah. Oh, Højbjerg as well. Yeah. That's true.
I think the players, the majority, 98% of the players he picked for that last set of the Nation League games are going to be going.
Apart those who are injured, if I'm not mistaken, right? Right, Reece James and who else?
Ben Chilwell.
A few of them injured.
A couple of players, mostly fullbacks, which is really our strength as the England team. Is we got really good fullbacks now, but all of them are injured. Dig up Carl Walker again.
Yeah, and Ian Walker, Carl Walker. But Carl Walker's rushing. Ian Walker. No. Carl Walker, yes. Carl Walker is, I think, trying to recover in time for it. So I don't know. But
he's injured as well. Bloody hell, we've got no.
He's injured as well. Yeah, he's injured as well. That's why I'm saying Rice has got a good chance to go to the World Cup.
Ryan Sessegnon is going, apparently.
Yeah, apparently Ryan Sessegnon will be going if Kyle Walker doesn't make it, right? So
I don't know. We're going to try and prove that Emerson is English, so Emerson can play for England at the World Cup.
Yeah, if Emerson plays for England, I guess.
Certainly not Brazilian. That's my issue.
But
all of our players are going, apparently. It's a real problem.
That's a problem, right? That's a problem.
Walker and James
both out. Okay.
Oh yes, Sanchez might be going to the world.
Sanchez is going for Colombia. Yeah, he is going. Yeah,
he can actually go though. He can go. He can go. He can go.
Yeah.
Don't let it hit you on your backside as you go out the door.
But like I said, when time comes, we'll know. Right, when the games start, we'll know. Right, but what time are the games in the UK then?
1
Okay,
o'clock.
hours?
Let me have a look. I think one's at 10 a.m. One's at
If
1.
if mine is at 6, right? That means it'll be 1800 my time. It'll be 2:12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're quite early. I think the first
Yeah,
England game's
12.
at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah,
So that's
12.
going to be an interesting
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. And that's why I might be doing a watch along for the England first game against Iran. England's playing Iran in the first game, right? Because that's on Monday, and it will be somewhere around
1 o'clock UK
9,
time.
9 p.m. my time. So it more or less falls into my a good time for me to do a watch along.
I'll certainly be watching that game. I don't know if we'll be here because that's the problem. Do I not work? 1 p.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. UK time.
1 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 p.m. And if I'm not mistaken, is it 10 p.m.?
Possibly, if they're doing 4 games a day. I don't
It's
know.
4 games a day. It's a standard 4 games a day thing, right? I think the first day is always 1 game or 2 games. Then after that, it's 4 game a day, 4 game a day, right? Or is that a 3 game a day? It depends, right? 3 game a day.
They're just going to
6,
have to
9,
squeeze
12.
many games in.
Yeah.
Big up, Jacob.
Big up.
Of Traore, as we like to call him over here. Baby Honesty. Big up, hope you're well. But it's definitely a worry. When do the last World Cup squads come out? I'm not sure when the last.
We are supposed to put in the 55 provisional players by November the 10th.
So that's 3 days.
Yeah,
That's
in 3 days,
3 days.
the countries will have to name their 55 provisional players, and then I think you're given a few more days to, I think you're given until 2 or 3 days before the actual thing starts. Then you have to actually slim it down to 26, if I'm not mistaken. Right, 26. And if I'm not mistaken, this year World Cup we'll be having 5 subs or so, right?
Thursday.
Yeah. Well, maybe by Thursday, right? So because if I'm not mistaken, 20th, today's the 6th or 7th. So we've got 13 days time. Yeah, so 3 more days on Thursday. Thursday, you get your provisional players up, and let's see whether Ryan Sessiona's name is in there.
We've got no hope in hell if he's in that team.
I don't know. He might turn out to be a gem, right, in the World Cup, right? And some other big team like Real Madrid and Barcelona will see he's such a gem, right, and buy him, and that will free up a slot in our team, right? So we can buy another player. Have you not noticed? Conte's been saying, if we don't sell, we can't buy, right? You don't sell, you can't buy. Yeah. Never got Emerson is English.
Yeah, Emerson. He's not from Brazil. I think he's from Bradford. At least they got the first 3 letters right.
That's true. Yeah. But,
England are screwed with no fullbacks. I mean, with the centre backs we have, Maguire's going to the World Cup, for God's sake. We've got Maguire.
Maguire's guaranteed.
Maguire,
Dyer. Oh dear.
Maguire and Dyer. Dumb and Dumber returns. Dumb and Dumber.
And imagine, okay, let's say Maguire and Dyer goes, right? Who's going to play centre back? Who's going to play right?
Dyer would play centre and Maguire would be left. And then we'll play John Stones on the right.
Oh dear.
Emerson is going to the World Cup. It's already been confirmed. He is the Brazilian mascot. It seems so. He might be good at that because he's got good vibes. He's got good vibes.
Yeah. But I don't think the Brazilian coach likes Emerson, so I don't think he'll be chosen, right? So
no, especially after the last game he played and got sent off. So I doubt Emerson's going at all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what is happening?
But in that day, we'll just have to wait and see. 2 more days or 3 more days, we'll know. By 3 more days, 3rd day, we'll see who's gonna take it. So I think England are not winning it. I don't think England is gonna win it, but we'll never know. Maybe there's a chance. Along the way, the injuries pile up to other teams, like Belgium and all that, lose KDB and.
Belgium are not winning the World Cup. They're done. Like every single year we hear about Belgium's golden generation. How good are Belgium? Belgium. And then they go out and they always go out. They always lose.
That golden generation is winning.
They've got a crap manager as well.
They've got Martinez.
Imagine they had a good manager. They would be so good. But no, they've got
Martinez. Yeah.
What's it called? Jason Derulo. They got the Jason Derulo manager.
Jason.
That's
okay.
still one of the worst clips I've ever seen of a football manager, of him doing a dance at a Jason Derulo concert.
Oh dear.
Oh
that
god.
would be nice. Yeah, but I know. I think the rest of the world is saying Argentina is a favorite at the moment, right?
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah, and I think a lot of fans out there who are Messi fans want Messi to at least get something before he goes, because to be the real GOAT, you still have to win the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
To be a real GOAT, right? But
he's won.
Right.
He's won a Copa America though, so he has won an international tournament.
He's won a Copa. He's won the Copa, right? So of course the cherry on top will be the World Cup, but you never know, because the World Cup sometimes brings out really weird results, right? And now all the favorites might just get kicked out. And this season, this World Cup, we are playing in a different environment, in a country where you had to play in the evenings, and the temperature is still so high, right? Will the players be able to adapt? And don't forget, weather in Europe now, right, is cold.
Yeah.
Right? We are playing our last game end of this week, right?
Yeah.
So that means they will have 1 week, right, to meet up, group up, and fly out to Qatar.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, will have about 6 or 7 days before they take up the first match. Certain countries might have more, because if they play later, they have more days, right? To acclimatize.
Yeah.
Imagine you're going from such a cold weather to such a hot weather. How are you going to do your training? You're not going to do your training in the afternoons when it's 100 degrees out there. And then you got to do your trainings in the evenings, right? And I'm not sure whether there's rain, because more or less, because why they chose November, because it's cooler and all that. Maybe, I don't know, whether there's rain coming in.
It's
and
just
all that.
100 million degrees instead of 200 million degrees.
Yeah.
Do you know the stat? If Messi plays the last couple of games for PSG this season, before the break, and Argentina win every game at the World Cup, it means Messi's 1,000th game will be in the World Cup final.
Whoa.
That's if he plays the rest of the PSG's games and Argentina play.
That means Argentina has to make it all the way to the final.
Argentina
together,
all the way to the final.
1,000 games for Messi. Yeah.
It's just the stars are going to align for Messi, and he will be probably crowned the greatest of all time on his 1,000th game. There is someone at FIFA that is going to be scheming this, and it's going to be against Portugal as well. The World Cup final is going to be Argentina versus Portugal.
Which is to be Messi versus Ronaldo, right?
The end. It's going to be like it's the end episode. It's like
but the thing is that sometimes it might have a sad ending. Messi might have 2 yellow cards and he can't play the final.
Oh no, they won't book him. They won't dare book him. This is Bob just being Bob.
Who? What did Bob say? Yeah, I'm gonna say Cameron might be dark horse. Yeah, Cameroon. Yeah. Hey, don't forget, Cameroon beat Argentina, right? Cameroon beat Argentina. Yeah. Cameroon beat Argentina. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, it was the 90s, right? Was it in 2000 World Cup?
Yeah.
Or 1998, I can't remember. Yeah, somewhere there, Cameroon beat Argentina in the opening game. Yeah.
This is what happens when Bob misses episodes of In the Wall. Simpsons. Yeah,
Bobby. How many weeks you've missed In the Wall? Yeah,
it's 3 weeks now. I think it's been 3 weeks.
Hope everything's well.
In the Wall will be back this weekend, Saturday at 10:45. I wish we had an advert. We got to actually make an advertisement for Bob's show, because 10:45 Saturday night, the last In the Wall before the end of the season.
Yeah, but sorry, can't make it. Yeah.
Your usual suspects, Mr. Cuva 99 will be there. Maybe Bobby K going after Sanjay will be there. Nick Barry, Sean Ranjit, all your usual cast members. Resjit, I will be there myself. It's going to be hilarious. The curtain call for this part of the season, and before we go on hiatus. Yeah. Speaking of
how many games will be there? We got Bobby K.
Big up Bobby K. Hopefully you're doing well.
After this last game, we've played 15 games, right, in the Premier League.
Yeah,
15 games. So 15 games is more or less half of the season. Yeah, close to half of the season. Yeah, close to half the season. But of course, there'll be a lot of ups and downs, a lot of reviews, and a lot of this and a lot of that. So let's see what happens, right? But what else can we say? Being a Spurs fan, yeah. Cameroon beat Argentina, Italy 90. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and what's the goalkeeper's name already? Right, the guy that was
I
really,
can't remember.
yeah, Roger Miller. Yeah, not the goalkeeper. Roger Miller was the captain of that
Yeah.
team, right? Yeah,
I
Roger
can't
Miller.
remember Italian 90 because I wasn't
Yeah.
born.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's
Okay.
going to be very difficult for me to remember that. But
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because I remember Italy 90. Yeah, it was
I
quite a
certainly
controversial World Cup because if not mistaken, Roger Miller played until he was maybe 40 for Cameroon or something like that.
yeah.
That was a weird one. That was a weird World Cup. But I don't know. Sometimes my 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 experience with the World Cup was 2002, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That was when it was in South Korea.
A fantastic World Cup. I remember
Yeah,
that very, very, very well. I was
yeah,
I was in year 2 at the time. Year 2. That's how long
yeah,
ago that was.
yeah.
And we watched every single game in school. School stopped.
For the World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, we watched
And,
every game because it was.
and the weird part for me, right? The World Cup was in Asia, right?
Yeah.
So the World Cup, right? The matches would start at lunchtime
Yeah.
over here. So it was a bit weird. But the worst part of that World Cup, right? It was so obvious, right? It was so obvious that it was so scripted for South Korea to reach the semifinals, right? To boost the Asian market for FIFA, right? Because there was one match, I think in the quarterfinal, I watched what the referee blew, right? Fouls from all the way from the center of the field for South Korea all the way into the penalty box, one kick at a time. I was going, what the hell was that?
I was
Oh,
2 in
dear.
2002. You young.
Oh,
Born in 2000, which means you're a fiend. Then how young are you? I was 20. I am 27. I am 27. 1995.
Yeah.
Year 2 in 2002, Sharp.
And I'm a 68 baby, so guys, you figure it out.
I'm very much a spring chicken. I remember that. I can remember what happened in 2002 in the World Cup, but I can't remember what happened dinner last night. It's a real problem. It's a real problem.
But the thing is that, like in 2002, there were so many upsets and surprise results, and it all had to do with Korea.
Yeah. Big up Korea. We want them to do.
Big up Korea, and maybe that's how we got on.
Korea
maybe that's how Korea. Yeah, that's how maybe Korea came up with the football. What called craze was in Korea, and maybe that's how Son came along. Maybe Son was conceived at. No, I don't think Son was conceived at the time.
No, I don't think so. Because 3 years.
Maybe Son was inspired at the time. You say 2002. How old is Sonny now?
29,
he's 30. So if he's 30, you take away 20 years, right? Sonny will be 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he was one of the ball boys in the stadium, for all we know. We don't know. We gotta ask Sonny that, right? One of these days. Yeah. Sonny, were you a ball boy in the 2002 World Cup?
Yeah. The joke's on you, Ben. You missed Spurs one the years of 90s battling Everton for 15. But then I had to grow up through the bloody Levy era of watching us lose to every team ever in a final. So it swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
But South Korea are definitely my third team. It goes England, Canada, South Korea. Those are my three. Those are the three.
I think for me it's England and South Korea, right? Because Asian and for Sony, I have to be England and South Korea, because of Sony. And the thing is now, just hopefully Sony recovers in time, and at least he has 1 or 2 games, right? And because South Korea is actually in a group that which is not that easy, right? They have Uruguay.
They're in a very difficult.
They're in a very difficult group. Yeah, very difficult group. They have Uruguay and who else do they have? I can't remember.
Let's see who they've got. Let's have a look. World Cup groups. Here we go. We have. Shut up, PlayStation. Where we are. So, where are they? Where are they? South Korea, Portugal, Ghana, and Uruguay. That's a very difficult group. So
That's a very good group. Yeah. So
someone.
I know.
So either Bentancur or Sonny's going home early,
Yeah. So yeah.
unless they both go through, which they might do.
But what do you think about Portugal? Do you think Ronaldo will have some kind of impact on the World Cup, especially
Yes,
now?
he will. This is
Especially now
Ronaldo.
he's playing back again for Manchester United, right?
Yeah, this is Ronaldo's last World Cup. He's going to be playing out of his skin, and that team literally plays for Ronaldo. It's not like Man United where they've now become a team, where instead of focusing around Ronaldo.
That's true. Yeah. It's more a Ronaldo team nowadays,
This is
right?
Ronaldo. This is Ronaldo. The tactic of Portugal is pass to Ronaldo, and hopefully he scores.
Yeah.
So I know where I think it's going to be a Portugal-Argentina final. I think it's going to be so.
Well, they meet in the final because are they placed in the opposite side of the
yes,
spectrum?
they are. Which is why I think that.
Yeah, if they are, so they will be
going to be
the
so corrupt, and players are going to be throwing the ball in the back of the net for Portugal. It's going to be Ronaldo, Messi for the final, and that's my opinion on the matter. I think it's going to be an incredible curtain call for the two greatest players of all time, probably the greatest football rivalry of all time in terms of player versus player.
Yeah, that's true.
Why not have it end? Why not have it
I
end?
don't know, but for all you know, they might not even get out of the group stages.
That would be funny, wouldn't it? That would just be
yeah. Then it must be Qatar versus Qatar versus England in the final.
That'd be hilarious.
And England will lose.
Still lose.
Yeah, that's the worst part. England will still lose. Yeah, but I don't think that will happen. Yeah, the weird scenarios. Maybe before the World Cup starts, Ben, we should do some shows, right? The weirdest scenarios of the World Cup. Who will go to the final, right? Yeah. Oh, the good one would be Canada going to the final against Wales.
The Brian Derby, Canada versus England in the World Cup final.
Yeah, then we were Brian Derby. Yeah,
Brian Derby. Not
not
the
Iggy Derby.
This is going really funny. Greatest rivalry in the game is surely Emerson Royale versus football. Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, that's true. Versus football. That's
we're going to welcome another guest into the stream. Big up, Ryan. Ryan's back.
Hi, Ryan. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm feeling rough but good. But yeah. One of them things.
Your thoughts on the Champions League?
Oh, I'm glad we got Milan. I think we had a 33% chance of getting a Milan side because obviously 6 sides, 2 from Milan. So always a quite a big chance of getting one of the Milan sides. Quite happy with the draw. We got 2 big sides definitely going out. One of Bayern or PSG will be crashing out early, and one of Liverpool Madrid will be crashing out early. So
I think it's all been done for M City to reach the final, and let's see what they do there. That's how I see it.
I think PSG are going to get battered by Bayern Munich.
Yeah, same here. Bayern will steamroll PSG. PSG
I think Bayern will get to the final. This Bayern team, they're brilliant.
So underrated.
They are. They're not only are they a well-oiled machine, they've got no egos in that team except for maybe De Ligt, who's a quality centre half. But they have got some wonderful players. They've got some absolutely barnstorming players that can just beat any team on any minute. Upamecano's a good player. Sadio Mane. They've got the Manuel Neuer. You don't even need to say him. Manuel Neuer.
Neuer is injured.
Oh, he's apparently had so he's recovering from cancer apparently. So we wish him the best.
He might not even make it to the World Cup. That's what they're saying.
He definitely won't make it to the World Cup after.
Hopefully he recovers for
get rid of.
Hopefully he recovers for the second part of the season, right? When the Champions League starts, right?
Apart from the time when they absolutely battered us 7-2, I've got a massive soft spot for Bayern Munich in terms of their history of protecting the Jewish people during the Holocaust. Bayern Munich's a team I respect massively. They are They are an institution that cares about their community and their culture. So it's always good to see
Still upset
Bayern
about
Munich.
them handing the Champions League to Chelsea in their own backyard.
Of course, apart from that as well, but that was always going to happen. That was always
It
going
was
to
just
happen.
one of them. It was just one of them Leicester fairy tale stories that Chelsea had.
Except it wasn't a fairy tale; it was a nightmare. Very much. Bayern, they're an institution that they deserve a bit of respect for what they've done in the history of their football clubs. One of the 3 Jewish football teams, amazingly. Who would have thought that Bayern are one of the 3 Jewish football teams?
My
With
first
Ajax
World
and
Cup.
Tottenham, with Ajax and Tottenham in Europe. But they're going to steamroll PSG. They are going to absolutely batter them. PSG had nothing apart from their front 3. And maybe Donnarumma. Donnarumma's a quality keeper. But
That's true. That's true.
Do you think we'll get through then? If we don't sign anyone, do you think we'll get through?
No.
We don't sign anyone. We're not going anywhere. We'll just fall down the table.
We're not finishing in the top 4 and Conte's fucking off.
Yeah, that's true. I think if we don't sign anyone in January, right, Conte will walk.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yay!
I had my banners out. I walked down after the second goal. I didn't leave the ground. It's okay. Well, you can leave the ground for half time now. You can pop outside.
Yeah.
But I was down at the goal line bar, not buying anything, obviously.
Of course.
I got my banner out, and let's just say it ruffled a few feathers.
You've got to rattle a couple of cages here and there.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, and big up to you, Ryan. Big up to you for doing that.
Big up
right?
to you, Eugene. My first World Cup was 2006. My first World Cup, 2006.
Oh, 2006. Okay, 2006. Where was it?
That was in Germany.
Germany.
That was a good World Cup as well. That was the last World Cup for Oliver Kahn as well. So that's
and
Zidane as well.
Who won that World Cup?
So that was always an interesting time.
Yeah, I remember us losing on penalties and crying my eyes out.
Yeah, as always. We always lose on penalties. I mean, my first World Cup would have been '98, but I was 3, so I didn't remember it. But the
first memory of a World Cup would have been 2002.
Yeah.
My first World Cup was way back. I think my first World Cup that actually more or less, because don't forget we're in Asia, and during those days, right, World Cup matches are not played every match. You don't get to see every match, but of all the matches you got to watch was the Hand of God match, right? So that really pissed me off. Really pissed me off. Yeah, but still to give credit to Maradona, right, where he ran through the players and he, even I can
why didn't any of our defenders just hack him down? Just hack him down. Take the yellow.
Yeah,
as Mourinho said, you've got to be. I won't say it on camera.
As well, because then wasn't even a yellow card back in those days. It was just they just take the bastard out.
Those days you could take them out like that, right? Those days you could hack them. You can come from behind and kick them.
Knee high.
In front, behind, left, right, center. It wasn't yellow.
You'd almost
unless you break the leg,
a red card.
Unless you break the leg, then you get a red card. If you don't break legs, it's okay.
So who knows why they didn't go for him? But
I
remember Italy scoring late to break Germany hearts. I remember there's a Dan headbutt.
Yeah.
Oh, Materazzi.
Yeah.
Materazzi. Yeah.
Materazzi and Zidane. Yeah.
Hence the name, by the way. I've made it Italian.
Yeah.
Ryan Isaac.
You need another S there. Or a double C. But so many World Cup memories. I'm hoping there will be some World Cup memories this year. Well, the memory is don't have another World Cup in the middle of the bloody year. That's the memory I want them to remember because this is
2018 was the only good memories for England for me.
Yeah, reaching the semi-final
was dull and boring, and then obviously robbed with the goal line technology, lack of.
Yeah,
it's the Germans.
Yeah,
and then
but the 2018, right? England was not even in the talk of going all the way to the semis. Not even thought. Quarterfinals. We England was expected to get knocked out in quarterfinals. We made the semis, so I
It
guess
took
that.
a very good Croatia team with Ivan Perisic and Luka Modric to beat us.
Yeah.
It took a
It's-
very good Croatia team.
It's actually why Miles can't quite take to Perisic yet.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
of what happened in that semi-final, he got the equaliser.
yeah.
That's why you
Yeah.
can't quite, love him.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how good was Perisic yesterday? He was like one of the highlights. He was
Yeah,
brilliant
so for
yesterday.
me, Perisic and Bentancur,
Yeah.
and Basuma was decent as well. I didn't
Yeah.
think Basuma was as great as people think he was, but he had a good game.
He had a very good game.
He had a solid game, right? Solid
Yeah,
performance.
solid game. Wasn't one of them that go.
Italia.
Hey, Biggie. Big up, Biggie.
If you want to
For
jump
me,
on Biggie, we've got 25
Perisic
minutes
was
left. If you want
excellent.
to jump on.
And Bentancur was.
But the only thing is that I still can't stand this, right? The inconsistency of VAR.
Yeah.
Right? If Cancelo can get a penalty for that, right? Why didn't Ryan Sessegnon get a penalty for
This
that?
is hilarious. Do you know who gave that red card on VAR?
The same referee.
Same referee, the same tackle, and they.
Yeah.
It wasn't given by VAR.
Yeah.
What is it?
VAR.
Yeah. Hi.
What is it? What is this nonsense that we are with the same referee?
I think Ben, it's like this. I think when they gave that penalty for Cancelo, I think the VAR referee in the end, the referee PGMOL and or whatever maybe went and told him you can't do that. That wasn't a penalty, right? But the decision was made, right?
Then take it off him. Then take off the red. Take off.
No, but the game is really ended. You can't do that.
It's one of them. I think, if I'm being honest, the penalty that wasn't given yesterday on Sessegnon, at first glance, I thought it was just good defending. I thought it was good defending.
I thought it was. Yeah, I didn't think it was a pen.
No, looking back at it, I'm still going to stand by it. I think it's one of them where if it had been given,
it's a 50
it would have been a penalty and it would have been stuck. I don't think you're overturning that, was it? If it had been given against us, I would have been very, very gutted. I wouldn't have thought it would have been penalty against us.
I think you had to fall back. You had to fall back. Yeah, you had to fall back on the Cancelo penalty because during the Cancelo penalty, right? If I'm not mistaken, the referee blew for the red card. Then he went to VAR. It's just that the VAR had to.
Just a second. Benvenuta, Iggy. Benvenuta.
Iggy.
Benvenuta.
How you doing? You
Ciao.
alright?
Ciao.
Big up, Ryan. What's up, Eugene?
Big up, Iggy. Good to see you again, right? No, I was saying, like, I think during the MCT game, it was the referee who gave the red card, and I think VAR couldn't overturn it and had to confirm it. And during the Spurs game, the referee didn't give the penalty. So I guess what the VAR had to do is that support his decision. So maybe that's how
once the penalty is given in the City game, he has to send him off because he's thrown goal.
Yeah, because he was last player. Yeah, he was the last defender. Yeah. But during yesterday's games against Sessegnon, what Trent wasn't the last player because he was on the side and there were about another 2 or 3 more defenders. Yeah. But
I actually think Sess is more playing for it as well.
Yeah.
He's a little bit to the side,
and the ball went to one side, right? He wasn't in front of him when he was pushed off. Right.
Yeah.
So
what did you think of that decision, Iggy? And what is your favourite World Cup memory? Double question.
All right. Right. Regarding the Cess thing, if it's a foul if Cancelo commits a foul as a last man and he gets sent off as a result of it, then the Cess is a foul as well. The one on Cess.
Agreed.
Not sending off. I don't believe that Trent Alexander-Arnold should be sent off for it. But if one's a foul, then the other one's got to be a foul as well. The fact is that you had 2 exact same scenarios, minus the red card. I'm talking about the foul. You had exact same scenario.
Outside the box.
Given a foul and the sending off, and the other one wasn't even acknowledged. It wasn't called by the VAR. It wasn't wasn't even looked at. It was completely missed. I don't understand. We either give those fouls or we don't. You can't have the other. It's the problem that the fans are having is the constant inconsistency with the decision making. That's the part that's frustrating everyone. And like I said, and VAR, they intervene on things that they probably shouldn't be intervening things, and when they should be stepping in, they don't. So I'm struggling with this whole concept. I don't think VAR is a bad idea. I think it's actually we were brought in to do the right thing, to ultimately come to the best outcome, whether you're at the receiving end or whether you're forward. Because let's have it, guys. If the reason why we went all the way to the European Cup final 2019, the VAR played a massive part in us doing it, because we was going out against Man City. The right decision ultimately was made, and we qualified as a result of it. Now, like I said, if you're going to give the foul against Cancelo, you have to give the foul against Trent Alexander-Arnold, or not give either.
Yeah.
The referee that was in VAR for the Man City game obviously was the referee for our game. Do you think if it hadn't have been given, do you think he would have overturned it in the City game? If the penalty hadn't been given, do you think the referee in VAR, who was the referee in the Liverpool Spurs game, would have overturned the decision? I don't think he would have.
It's a mystery, Ryan, man. How can I? It's an absolute mystery.
Talk about consistency, which is
this is
we don't know what the ref would have given. Consistency for me, when people talk about consistency, it's a vague one, because one referee might think it's a penalty, one referee might not think it's a penalty.
Every year, new rules are coming out to the point. You know it's bad when the players and managers themselves do not know.
Yeah,
that's bad, man, because that's your industry. That's the place you work with, and you're not too sure on the rules. Imagine you going to work tomorrow in an industry you know fully well, and you don't know what the rules are, man. That's bad. And they're constantly doing this. And football's not difficult. It's not difficult, but it's becoming too many rules, man. Too many. I don't know the offside rules anymore. I don't know. You know, when the goalkeeper comes out and you've got one defender behind the goalkeeper, is offside. It's becoming too complex, and football should not be like that. It should be just leave it be, man. Leave it be. Yeah. If something to improve it, you use it. If it's only going to make it a mockery of it, and it's gonna anger the fans watching the game. You know. The other day I was watching the game the other night. It's funny enough. I was actually in Milan. Theo Hernandez scores a goal, and there's a 5-minute wait. 5-minute wait for a VAR decision to decide whether it was offside or not. It's just become beyond the joke. Spurs get right.
Small thing. Decision making. There has to be a time frame for VAR to say, we will look at this, but if it's taking more than a minute or longer, you stick with the on-field decision. Not everything is clear-cut. Even with technology, there's never a 100% accuracy with VAR because of the frames that they have to go through. There's a frame where...
No, but the thing is that, Ryan, I think whatever happens, right, if they explain the rules to the audience, then maybe the audience will find a way to accept it.
Still wouldn't get it, Ryan. Honestly, Eugene, the problem is, if it's not clear and obvious, you don't give it. That's all it comes down to. If it's taking you 5 minutes to make a decision, that means it's not
clear and obvious. You haven't. The idea VAR was brought in to speed up the game.
Yes,
it's slowing it down.
Yes,
it's taking so much time out the game that it's making the crowd restless. The players don't know what's going on. The managers
no one knows to celebrate a goal.
Yeah, but guys, after this stream, right, I'll explain to you.
I wasn't sure.
After this stream, I'll explain to you why it's been done. Why have our injury time, right? You remember before VAR, our injury time, right, will always be around 3 minutes, 2 minutes, right? After the 90 minutes pass, right? And unless there's some big injury, you know, like a break of a leg or, you know, some red card incident fighting on the field, then the injury time goes into the 5 or 6 minutes. Have you not noticed now, right? Nowadays, our injury time, right, it's a minimum 4 to 5 minutes. And sometimes it goes up to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. You know, I was watching earlier the Roma match, the Roma Lazio match. Injury time was 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? And they had to play the injury time to 8 minutes, and more or less the game ended on the 100th minute.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I'll explain to you what's happening there, because there's a certain theory I have, right, on certain issues, but not live. I can't tell you live because
not live. And favorite World Cup memory again. Favorite World Cup memory.
Well, being Italian,
or England
memories, mate. Yeah, especially more recent ones.
Yeah.
The Euros, obviously, because it's the most recent one, was a great one. Obviously, present company won't agree with me, but for me personally, it was a good one. But look, we've had the 1982, the Paolo Rossi. Eugene will remember that.
Yeah. Rossi was fantastic.
one of the greatest Brazilian sides, in my opinion, ever seen in 80s. We knocked them out. Argentina, Germany in the final. That was a great cup. The 1990 Italian 90, that was a great Italian team, one of the best Italian teams not to win it. 94, the Viaggo missed penalty. We've always been there. And then 2000 we lost to France in a golden goal in the final again. 2006 we won it with the in Germany. And obviously the most recent 2020, but we combined that with two not making the World Cup, World Cup back to back. So
Spurs of national teams win a tournament and then not qualify. This seems like it's like what Tottenham do: beat Man City, then lose to Birmingham or Bradford.
You know what?
Burnley.
Honestly,
Guys, confirmation of the dates for the Spurs games have been confirmed. We will travel to the San Siro on Valentine's Day.
You bring your wives and your girlfriends out there.
The return leg at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on the 7th of March. UEFA plan to confirm all fixture dates at 6 p.m. this evening. Please refrain from booking travel until UEFA have confirmed dates.
Okay, wait.
So you've not confirmed then?
No, but the club have just updated.
The dates are confirmed, but the times are not confirmed.
Yeah, but the club have updated their calendars. They put the date as the 14th of February.
14th of February, you play the first leg in Milan.
Yeah.
7th of March, you play the second leg back home.
Yeah.
That is like 2 weeks in between the two games.
All I know is I've booked my flight for the 13th of February, so I will be in Milan, in my favourite city in the world. Who cares about Valentine's Day? I'm going to be going. I'm going to be eating my favourite foods ever. I'm going to be going to the Ribbo.
Kauffie, you would have gone there regardless. Even if you don't need an excuse to go to Milan.
No, I don't.
Football no football, you're gone.
If you give me a chance to watch Tottenham and then go and sit in my favourite restaurant in Milan, which is the Ribbo, which if you don't know, I don't know.
Even if he's got the dates wrong, that just gives him another reason to go again.
It's going to go again. But there's a restaurant in Milan called the Ribbo, which is on the San Siro racetrack.
Yeah.
And you will go there and you will see all, like, we go there and we've sat there with Mr. Capello. We've sat there with, like, you go there and all the top players will be in there. Inzaghi will be there. It's just like, it's the place to be on that day. So book it now. We're all there.
13th of February, yeah.
If that is the date, how, Iggy, you'll know this, how much allocation normally do AC or Inter give for away sides?
Just short of 5,000. I think you'll get about 4.5.
Okay, so
somewhere between that. And they put you right at the top, you know that.
If you're looking at loyalty points, that should put me in. So I'm just over 300 points. I'm like 315.
That part, I'm not sure, Ryan. I don't know what the clubs.
We will definitely get about 4.5, 5.
I reckon, yeah. It's normally varies. I'll say around 4.5. So it fluctuates, but you'll get 4,000 or 5,000 there easy.
Okay,
it's an 80,000 stadium. Don't forget, man. It's an 80,000.
Oh, it's a big stadium, yeah.
And what are the police like down there for the English?
Fine, man. What are you making me say online here?
Do that in the back room, Ryan. Do that in the back room.
I'll make sure what I can.
We do that on the Wait.
Okay, once they're
are you going, Iggy?
I think I'm certain of a ticket. Hopefully,
I'm planning on being both home and away. I'm planning on being there for both games.
So that means you'll be sitting on the
there's
Milan
no home
side,
and
right?
away. For me, it's home and home.
Home and home. So you'll be sitting on the Milan side, right?
Yeah, but
you won't be going for an away ticket.
Half and half t-shirts, half and half scarves, and the whole lot.
And you have to sit on the half side of in the stadium, right in the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Having a full English breakfast in England.
Have you been to the San Siro at the away end? It
I
is
haven't.
so high, man. It's you are going 30.
All I know about the San Siro in the away end is the toilet. It's just a hole in the ground.
Yeah, that's it. They're making sure that you make no damage whatsoever. But they put you sky high. Imagine Newcastle away, where they're right at the top. You're up there with the gods. That's where you are with Milan on the third tier, high up. And the thing is, there's no there's no lifts or anything, so you got to do the stairs.
Walk.
My God, Ryan, you'll know what I'm talking about. Once you've experienced it, we'll talk after. You will.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, I've done
it is
Newcastle. Newcastle wasn't so bad going up the
But
stairs.
Newcastle, do you have a lift and stair or just
No, it's just
but
stairs.
Milan is worse apparently.
Milan's worse, man. Trust me, you're up there with the gods. The players look. Do you remember the old Sabutio?
Yo.
That's what it looked like from up behind the top there. But
you
you know
mean
what?
by
It's a great experience, especially if like the last time Spurs went there was obviously when Crouchy scored the winner there, and that was a great night for those.
Well, actually, no, the last time we were there, we
taxi from Icon,
the UEFA Cup, Europa League, when we won on away goals. Had a
scored in the 109th minute.
Yeah, we lost 4-1, but we won 3-0 at the Lane. We were 3-0 up.
It's a great away day, man, for Spurs. It isn't a great away day. It's always great. Like Koff knows, it's always a good venue to go to. San Siro is special, man. It's a dated stadium. It's very dated. It's very, very dated now. It does require renovation, updating, and all of that, but it's still special. It really is a special place to go to.
Well,
in the middle of nowhere, mind you. It's in the middle of nowhere, but it's great still. Still great.
Well, it's not in the middle of nowhere anymore because the new tube line that goes outside the San Siro it's amazing. Ryan,
link up with the Koff. He knows all the best places.
Okay, fine, I will.
For people that don't know Milan, all roads lead through Cadorna. It's so easy to get to San Siro from Cadorna. If you're in the Duomo, which most of the Tottenham fans will be, you take one train and you're there. Actually, no, two trains. You go on the yellow line.
I've not done, I don't travel that much. And when I travel, it's mainly I've never done.
We will probably, if you're in Italy, Ryan, we'll sort you out.
Oh no, it's more just I'm shit with flights and all that. So it's knowing how to book it, what area to go to.
I know where I'm going.
Speak to the Koff in the private chat, man. Trust me, he knows. He's the most Italian, non-Italian I know. Believe me when I say that.
Okay. I'm gonna have to shoot as well. So Eugene, big up. Iggy, big up.
Take care, man. See you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
But Milan. Again, you're right, Iggy. No excuses to go to Milan. If we'd got the flights one, we'd just be booking another flight and going back.
Believe. 100%. 100%. It's got to be done.
It's got to be done. Greatest city in the world, in my opinion. I get to have some of Ennio Mazzari's pasticceria. I get to go.
Look at that. He's already planned it in his head. Look,
I know where I'm going.
Eat, where he's gonna sit, right?
He knows exactly what he's doing. Oh yeah, and there's the football as well.
Yeah.
Football is football is secondary there.
See you there, Graham.
Eugene.
No. I have never been to that.
I
have to say, maybe things luck will change and something might happen, and I'll buy a plane ticket and I'll see you guys there.
We'll see you all there. It's just going to be a party, man.
Let's see how
as long as I get one of Ennio Mazzari's pastries, that's all I care about.
Love it.
Best pastry in Italy by far. Get to go to my favourite pizza place. It's just going to be magical.
Yeah.
Really thought about this.
Yeah, I've already thought about this because I knew we were going to get a Milan team. I just knew.
It's just one. Inter
I was open for Inter, obviously.
Yeah, I was. We talked about this. I hate Inter.
Yeah. But it is what it is. We go with it.
Yeah.
Very much looking forward to going back to the city. It's like my home from home. I've been there so many times now. It's like from 2000. That was it. Was the first time I went to Milan was 2000 and can't remember now, but I was going there 6 times a year at one point. But I know that's
times than me already.
Yeah, it's a problem. I should just probably move there, to be honest. But we're looking forward to it.
It's always a couple hour flights from London. It's not like
an hour and a half flight.
An hour and a half. You can get there from London. You go there, come back, and it's like a journey like no other. Really,
as long as you go to Linate, not Malpensa, because all my Italian friends, all my Milan friends always make me say this. Malpensa is not Milano, so it's Bergamo. So fly to Linate, you're there in 20 minutes. Bish bash bosh, you're there in 2 hours. It's brilliant. It's
you could be in the city central next to no time.
Yeah, the bus is brilliant. Straight there, 25 minutes, right in the centre of Milan. It's
I agree.
It's why
that's
it's such a brilliant football city. You're
good
just there
knowledge.
instantly, especially if you go from London City Airport, which is it's another brilliant thing. Straight there, 15 minutes before the flight. You can get there half an hour before the flight, and you're just straight there.
Yeah,
It's like taking a bus.
Flying bus.
Yeah, it's like taking a bus. It's so easy to go to Milan. That's why I like going there so much, probably.
Are the tickets cheap now in Europe?
They're cheaper in Italy than they are here.
That means to fly from Milan to London is cheaper than London to Milan.
It's about at the moment it's about £30 is the flight to Milan.
You can get some good deals there, Eugene. You can, if you plan it, you can come over and then go to Milan and back next to nothing. Honestly, they're not expensive. Oh,
that's cheap. That's real cheap.
£30 you can get. That's including taxes sometimes as well.
Yeah.
£30.
2 ways.
It can if you catch them at the right time, but I reckon.
Okay, let's say maybe it's about £50 for return, average. 50,
sometimes you can go. Yeah, you can. You catch them at the right time. Obviously, like you'll have to move quick if you want to go to Milan to watch the Spurs AC Milan, because now they know the fixtures are out. They're going to probably manipulate the prices. Normally,
it will be fully confirmed, but I think
it's on Valentine's weekend
already.
They're going to be. They're
probably
probably
book early.
6 o'clock kickoff or an 8 o'clock kickoff. That's the only.
I think it's 8 o'clock both games.
Should
be 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock both games, or 9 o'clock Italian time.
Yeah,
because they're an hour ahead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the thing is that you're talking about plane tickets are not that expensive. Then it's quite okay. If you're looking at about less than 80 pounds and all that. So
£30 for a Milan ticket. It's not expensive for a Milan. Like maximum you're spending for the actual ticket for the game is about £50. Well, unlike Tottenham, where you charge £95 to play a shit team. So it's not stupidly expensive, and of course. It's so much cheaper unless you're going to Lautaro.
And what about the tickets for the stadium? The stadium's ticket seats. The seats, do they charge? Expensive?
They're not as expensive as the UK.
No, not as expensive as London. No way.
No way.
No way. They're cheaper.
And it's not even the size of the stadium. It's just they are cheaper. Like,
basically, I mean, they're more ethical, I guess. So
one of the things all my Italian friends say is, when they're living in London, they can't do what they do in Italy. Most Italians, as Iggy will know, they will have breakfast, they will have lunch, they will have dinner. After they finish work, they will get an aperitivo, and they can still live for like €1,000 a month quite comfortably. Here, it's like once your rent is gone, you're done for. You can't enjoy yourself. But
one thing, you're in London, right? That's the problem. If you're in London, it's a big problem. Yeah.
But Milan isn't so much of a pauperous city. There's loads of expensive things in Milan, and Lautaro's restaurant is expensive, but it's just like you can get pizza for €8.
I think maybe the standard of living, and because you say London is London property prices are different, Milan property prices are different. That's why you have the difference.
Because they got rules.
Yeah, and they have rules on land ownership and all that.
The food and over there, they provide their own food and drink, don't they? Everything's made in house. They got a lot of the products are made in house. They don't have to charge you expensive prices for eating their own products.
But especially one of the great things about Milan is they have so many like food venues outside as well, with like the panini place. They have so many food outlets outside as well. That's not expensive either, and it's not crap food. It's like really good.
It's all organic. It's all organic stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe in our Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, right? Levy has to lease it out, right? Get rental, then get concession fees on it. So every outlet that goes there, you pay something more like 20 or 30% more expensive for everything. So I guess if the San Siro Stadium runs their own F&B outlets, right? So most probably everything is done by them, managed by them. So I guess everything will be cheaper in that way. Or maybe the rental is cheaper, or maybe we have $1 billion stadium that we had to repay, so I guess that's what is being done there. So that's why You get charged around your
And-
legs or whatever you do there. Yeah.
And of course, the final question is, what is happening on your guys' channel this week? Eugene, what is happening on Spurs Wation in the next week?
Basically nothing this week. I really done my this week thing. I did a watch along on Sunday, right? That was good. But most probably next Monday, I'll be planning a show with fans from other clubs to just have a review, right? After the last game of the Premier League, right? And we will just have a good sit around with some Newcastle fans, Arsenal fans, West Ham fans, Spurs fans, Chelsea fans, and we'll just banter each other and see what comes out of that next Monday. And most probably I'll be doing it around 1:30 p.m. BST, since now we are about 8 hours ahead of you guys now. Yeah, 1:30 p.m. BST. Yeah. Don't forget, Spurs Vision TV, YouTube, live.
Great stuff. And Iggy, what's happening on Tottenham away this week?
Well, in a few hours, what was it? 8:30 p.m. UK time, we're gonna be doing a Monday night pod. So we'll be discussing the weekend events and, of course, the biggest news of the day, our fixture versus Milan. I'm sure I'm going to get a bit bantered about it, no doubt. And so it's going to be discussing all things Spurs. And of course, every morning we have, depending where you are in the world, this might not be morning for you, Eugene, morning for us in England. I'll do the good morning Tottenham away videos as per usual. So plenty of content will be coming out. And of course, there'll be discussion. You got EFL Cup on the week, midweek. What do we prioritize, one or the other? What should we'll be discussing a lot of things tonight. So tune in, guys. But by all means, if you can.
Brilliant on that note, we are going to wrap up the stream there. We've reached our 1 hour and a half time slot. So thank you to everyone in the chat for your likes, comments, and subscribes. As always, we will be back tomorrow, as usual, at 2 p.m. The only stream at 2 p.m. weekdays. And this week on Friday, it's going to be 4 o'clock. It's going to be our Friday stream. But stay tuned, stay tuned. So back tomorrow. Go and subscribe to these boys on the channel. They've got some wonderful content. And, of course, the Tottenham on Tour. Brian was here earlier. And, let's just be great friends. And we're going to sign off in Italian today. So, grazie ragazzi. If you smell what the coffee is brewing, buona giornata. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, come on.
Grazie ragazzi.
How do you say leave it out in Italian?
Leave it out.
Leave it out. in any language.
Ciao belli. Ciao belli.
Bye. Come on, Spurs.